This is the second video we have for you guys to look at. This is primarily for our trail drivers and our standby drivers that help us cover routes. So a lot of this is going to be the same procedure in the morning or the afternoon. You select your driver, put your driver ID in to clock in. Hit your clock in button. Don't forget to hit your clock in button. Then you're going to hit next. Now, just like our normal drivers, you're going to put the route in. You're going to put the route in you're covering because you're a trail, you're standby. So if you're standby, you've already done your primary route and you're covering something extra for us or something that you're assigned standby, you put that route number in. It's always going to be the bus number. So say that is 3135. You're going to hit enter. Now, this is where it gets a little different from what our normal drivers would do. If you're a trail, you're a standby, you're going to select partial route. And when you selected it, it highlights itself in green, and you're going to hit start. I'm going to flip it to AM, but it's automatically going to be AM in the morning, PM in the afternoon. You don't have to flip it. I'm just going to flip it to show you what it's going to look like in the morning. So you're going to hit your start, and it's going to give you your segments. So say, for instance, you're a standby or you're a trail, and you're just helping out with this Wedgewood Elementary. So all you're going to do is you're going to hit X right here and delete that segment. And it's going to give you all the information you need for this Wedgewood. Now, say, for instance, you're helping us with a Wedgewood, but you're also helping us with
2507. That's another Wedgewood. 07.
You're also helping us with 2507, which is also a Wedgewood. It's a Wedgewood in Liberty, but you're just helping with Wedgewood. So you hit the drop down and you're going to get the Wedgewood option. Now, it doesn't have to be the same school. It could be say Woodlawn Elementary and Shenandoah Elementary. Could be two completely different schools, but for this example, it's the same school. At this point right here, all you're going to do is hit start. And it's going to navigate you. The first one is navigating you through the Wedgewood. These are the stops on the first Wedgewood. It's got you going to the Wedgewood. When you finish this and it gets you going to the Wedgewood, it's automatically gonna pull up the next one. If you want to see the kids that are getting on, just like the other one, other video, this shows you the riders. You want to go back to your list, this shows you the list. If for some reason you do decide you guys are super professional, you know what you're doing, but just say, for instance, you want to see the turn by turn, you can go back and you can also highlight the turn by turn, hit your start button again, and it's giving you the turn by turn when you hit the map. And it's going to give you the turn by turn for the first assignment. It's going to see that you've gone to the school to let the students off. It's going to start giving you the turn by turn for the second assignment. If you've done this before, and it's just showing a PM, that's why it's zeros. Remember, we only route to AM. But if you've done this before and you know that this stop at Coursey, that there's no one there, but this stop at Coursey, there's someone there. So all you have to do is highlight this one. When you go back to the turn by turn, it's navigating you to that stop. Once again, if you stop, say for instance, you're stopping before it's telling you to stop because that's the safest place, you just hit the stop button. Because as you approach the stop, the students that you're picking up are automatically going to pop up. Usually it's about within 200 feet. They're automatically going to pop up. Anytime you want to go back to the list, you just hit the list. And remember, these buttons up here are like back buttons. Going to the map, going back to the list, going back to where you started as far as selecting the route and the partial or the turn by turn. If you have any questions, just let us know. Guys, this is super simple. What this is going to allow you to do is the parents that were tracking the bus that this 3135 going to Wedgewood, the parents that are tracking that bus are now tracking you on the app. So it's going to make that app more reliable. It's going to reinforce the fact that we might have a bus running late, but not only is that bus coming, but here's that bus moving through the map towards your location. And once again, it's super interactive. If you want to help us out in any way by adding students on to the stop that might be on the stop, or helping look up a student, you can do that at the end. Search for student, search for a route for the student. Search for student, you got two options: last name or student ID. Obviously, elementary kids, they don't really know student IDs. High school kids don't know them either sometimes, but you also have the last name. So if you get to a stop and the parents are like, can you tell me what bus they should get on? That might help with the parents. And once again, guys, you're our trails, you are our standbys, you are the cream of the crop when it comes to our leaders on the buses. We need you doing this with fidelity, doing it every day, because the drivers that we're having trouble getting them on board with this, if they see you doing it, they're going to do it too. And I want to mention this also satisfies the requirement that HR is requiring us to do as far as clocking in and out. And guys, this just shows that you come to work. It's not like I'm going to come back and tell you, oh, you only worked 2 hours that day, I'm only paying you for 2 hours. Not at all. Matter of fact, if you want to help us keep track of how much you're actually working, you can add time to it. All right, you can add time to it. It also, at the end of the day, gives you a time card. It can show you time card, how much you worked for the whole week, show you all the extra stuff. We even have the option of possibly throwing in field trip time in here. So if you have any questions, just let us know. And obviously, when you finish in the morning or you finish in the evening, you're going to hit the clock out. If you forget to hit clock out, don't worry about it. It's going to automatically clock you out at midnight. And one thing I mentioned it on the other video that we made for all the drivers, but specifically for you guys as trails and standbys. When you get to the screen of the list of stops, remember, this is fed to the tablet every morning at about 3 a.m. So when you clock in, you got the latest and greatest information about what stops might have been added. And once again, you're going to see zeros over here for PMs. Don't worry about that. It's going to be the same stops. We don't want you to select AM when it's PM. We want you to still select PM. Anything in here that you've been running for a while that you need to let us know, maybe in the mornings. Certain kids are not at stops at all in the mornings or the evenings. Just let us know. We'll make those changes. You'll see changes. Like, here's a good example right here. Today, someone's taken some students off of this stop right here. That's why it's registering 0. Eventually, this stop shouldn't be registering on this route at all. So anything you guys see that we need to do, any suggestions you have for these tablets, let us know. The company is very receptive to any changes. And we hope that this is going to be a tool that you guys can utilize, a tool that's going to help us communicate with our parents and our students in a better manner. And we hope that it's the beginning of a fantastic year. And thank you guys again for everything you do.